cannot tell you how long it has been since I've had to scramble as my microphone falls over. Good Lord. See if that's better. There we go. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've had to fucking scramble to find some shit. Of course I should have came down here earlier today and tested this. But my microphone card or sound card in the computer in my desktop that I normally stream from has gone kaput. And there's likely not any time soon that the thing will be working again. Oh, the stream health is bad. Golly. That's what I get for having a computer that I cannot hardwire. I tried, folks. I tried. I might just pre-record this here. See if I can get this set up to record. Hold on. Will it even let me do an MP4 file anymore? Probably not because I'm recording. Oh, well. It says it's good here on my end, so let me know if you guys can hear me. If not, oh well. AC is supposed to be joining me here. Let me see if AC's on Twitter. And see if he's... The video output is low. What video? I may just pre-record this and upload it. Tell you the truth, guys. Let's message AC, see if he's ready to go. So what's up, everybody? How have you been? Man, my world has been crazy the last couple of months. It's been a while since I've done this live. It really has been a while since I've done this shit live. And especially since I've done it from a computer that is fucking shitty-ass HP laptop. I hate this shit, but we're getting it done. We're going to get it done tonight. I'm operating off Wi-Fi, too, because for some reason they decided to build laptops that do not have Ethernet ports in them anymore. So that's what I'm doing now. Come on. Let's see here. I'm trying to load the chat up, guys. The chat is not working for me here. Let me see if I can just go to the... See if I can actually just go to the show page and find it there. Because every time I go to the dashboard on YouTube, it tells me to basically to fuck off. Let me see if AC is going to come on. I'm trying to do 15 things at once. That's why I'm quiet here. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Man, dude, I'm hoping people can hear us. I'm honestly hoping.
That's always a good sign.
I'm gonna go. Well, dude, here's the thing. My sound card on my regular computer crashed. I can hear things, but my microphones won't work. None of the microphones I have work.
Oh boy.
So what I'm hoping is that this going out live. I mean, I don't know if you could go to the YouTube page here. I'll send the link.
Yeah, I could probably hear it through my phone. I didn't know if you were calling me or I was calling you. Since I didn't hear from you, I was like, I'll just call him.
Well, I was just gonna message. I just messaged you on Twitter and I was like, hey, are we doing this? So, or was getting ready to when you called, actually. I just sent you a DM with the link. See if you can get it there. Folks, yeah. This is live. I'm sorry. Honestly, I watched the race today from Charlotte, the little Roval race that they did, the little Bush League race that they do, and then I came right down here to record. And I've been fooling with my computer and banging my head against the desk for the last...
since I didn't hear from you. I was like, oh.
Sounds like it's working.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. I'm trying to load up the chat though. That's just it. I'm trying to see if people can actually play this damn thing and are hearing us. What's been going on, brother? It's been a while, man.
You know, same old shit, working, living life, you know. All the fun stuff. How about you? New job, all kinds of
Dude, it's been
truck driving and all. Every time I hit you up, you're like, I'm in Idaho, I'm in North Dakota, I'm in Paducah. You're all over the place.
Dude, I actually sent a fucking picture out of Paducah, Kentucky.
the home of the great Ricochet, by the way.
Oh, yeah. James H. says, live as heck, brother. There we go. Thank you, James H., for tuning in with us tonight. I'm literally within the last 15 minutes downloaded OBS, downloaded the driver for my soundboard, and installed it on this little shitty $200 laptop that I bought about 2 weeks ago. I bought the laptop just so I can hook shit up to it and watch movies and stuff. That's it.
Listen, we always find a way to make things happen.
Yeah, I just
I actually fired up my laptop 2 hours ago because I was like, I haven't fired it up in a while. And with my luck, if I fire it up 20 minutes before the show, it'll be one of those 2-hour updates. So
the 2-hour updates, I remember that shit.
Oh God! Don't even get me started. Don't even get started.
By the way, folks, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us out here on from Pillar to Post. By the way, from Pillar to Post, we've gone legit, man. From Pillar to Post.
You got to be careful about what you say now.
No, well, yes, because I'm an actual business now with the way I'm doing my truck.
Well, don't worry because it's an LLC, so they cannot touch your personal wealth.
Well,
which we know is extensive.
Yeah. The laptop is the newest thing I own. This little shitty HP Stream that doesn't even have an Ethernet cord jack on it. It's all Wi-Fi. So it might as well be a fucking Apple computer.
What is it, a Chromebook or something?
No, dude, here's the deal. I finished my training and went into lovely Springfield, Missouri to upgrade. Let me see if this will work here. Hold on. Say something real quick.
Something real quick.
Okay, good. All right.
I got you.
So I muted something on the OBS so it wouldn't echo as much.
Okay.
Basically, what happened is I finished my training, and you have to go through a process called upgrading, where you basically take a bunch of computer tests and you go through and get your own truck. Well, when I did that, I decided, all right, I'm going to take my paycheck and buy a laptop because I bought two things. I bought the Super Nintendo Classic, which is fucking amazing. If you're an old school video game fan, you got to buy that shit.
I got the NES Classic. I love it.
I bought the other one. I bought the NES Classic 2 days ago. Being with the hot little redheaded maid that was coming in and out of the room every day, I was basically playing video games and eating and upgrading. So I bought a Chromebook. Let me tell you something about these Chromebooks. Have you ever sat down and played with a Chromebook before?
I have not.
Oh, it's basically like an Android on a laptop shell. It's fucking horrible. You can't download Firefox.
Yeah, my daughter has one from the school system that she hates.
Oh man, dude, you can't do jack on those. You can't download nothing. You can download shit from the Android store. It's basically a Google phone. Downloading an app within 5 minutes of getting it. I downloaded an app and it said I had to restart. So I restart the thing. It came back up and said the operating system could not be found. So I took that sumbitch back to the Walmart that happened to be next to the hotel and got me this little laptop.
You're probably better off, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. I'm way better off. And then here's what kills me: they've done something fucked up to Windows 10 within the last few months. They've made it to where Windows 10 now automatically gets activated in safe mode, to where you cannot download any apps that are not bought or received through the Windows Store. So
why would they do that?
Because they want you to download their shit. They want you to have their stuff.
So annoying.
They want to get their numbers up. So if I download Firefox through the Windows Store, Windows can say, oh, look, everybody's downloading Firefox through our shit, you know?
That's always been one of the things I hated about Apple, and now everybody else has kind of followed suit.
Yeah. So then I had to sit there in this hotel room, bang my head up against the damn headboard for another 5 minutes in the hotel room, trying to figure out how to turn off this safe mode. So all this while waiting on my truck to get fixed and everything so I can fucking drive on my own and actually do my job. It's been, dude, it's been a fucking hectic.
Do you get reimbursed for the hotel expenses?
The hotel, they paid for it. The company paid for it.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't pay
Nice.
Shit, the hotel. Yeah, let me tell you this. I got there, and the hotel that they normally put you in is, they own the hotel. Prime Inc. owns the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Campus Inn. It's a nice hotel, you know, but they were out of rooms. So they put me 2 doors down at the lovely Lamplighter Inn and Suites. This hotel is this hotel.
Did it have one of those like heart-shaped jacuzzis?
No. No, me and the redheaded maid and the heart. Yeah. Oh man, but anyway, so I get I'm kind of glad that they did put me at the Lamplighter, because the Lamplighter, while this hotel is like straight out of the late 70s, early 80s from the decor and everything, had an indoor pool and a hot tub. So while the jacuzzi was not in my room and it was not heart-shaped, I did get to go chill out and rest myself in the hot tub for a little while.
A little access. Had a little access to it. That's not bad.
No. Except for the day 2 when I was there, they had gotten the hot tub and the motherfucker was cold. I was like, I went to the front desk. I was like, y'all need to fix this. It's not heating. The day after, though, was nice and hot, and bubbling and all that good shit. So,
yeah, there. Well, at least I understand you had some health issues as well.
Yeah, man. I came back here in July because and I did a podcast then.
That was Edwards filled me in on that one.
Yeah, because I had to have gallbladder surgery. But dude, it was the worst pain I ever felt in my fucking life, man. I'd rather have
that Biscuitville got to you.
Dude, what kills me is, man, I have been losing weight. I have been eating right. I had been fucking dieting my ass off because I wanted to pass that company physical that they put.
It's usually when you feel like shit when you start getting healthy.
Well, here's the thing. I went to the doctor yesterday, and they do every 3 months what's called an A1C, which is like they measure your blood sugar count for like the last 3 months. And I went in there, and they were like, well, the last time they did the A1C was before you got put on your medication 6 months ago. So they did another A1C on me yesterday, a same-day A1C, because normally they send that shit off to the lab, whatever the case may be. But she was like, can you come back in 2 weeks? I'm like, in 2 weeks, I'm liable to be across the country. She goes, well, when can you come back? I said, first of the year, because that's when I'll be back,
Right.
But now I'm thinking about carrying, now that I have the laptop, the audio quality ain't going to be that good, but I'm going to carry my little USB headset and record from the road occasionally.
There you go.
But anyway,
another former podcaster had we've done that in the past with.
What's that?
Our former, well, I'll say my former mentor, the great King Firehawk.
Oh, okay.
He's carried equipment on the road, and we've linked up, and it's been a while, but it has happened in the past.
I was waiting for you to tell me he resurfaced lately, man. Good for him if he did.
No, this is I'm not speaking recent. This was when I was still well, let's just say my equipment was lacking at the time.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
when I was recording off a tablet.
So anyway, they did came back here, did the gallbladder surgery, and I visited the doctor yesterday, and your A1C level, technically my A1C level before I was on medication was a 9.5, which is grounds for insulin. They wanted to put me on insulin. Now, if I'm on insulin and I have to take needles in my arm every day, I can't drive a truck. They won't let me.
Right.
The company won't let me. I'm a liability, because if I go into insulin shock on the road or forget to take my shot or whatever, and
yep.
Then there's a matter of keeping it cold, which I have a nice refrigerator on the truck, so that wouldn't be an issue. But still, they don't want the liability. So the I was like, no, keep me on the pill for now. Let's see how this does. So I visited the doctor yesterday. My A1C before the meds was a 9.5. They want your A1C to be a 7. That's the average for diabetics. I'm happy to report that I'm actually healthier than that. My A1C is sitting at a 6.3.
Ah, nice.
I'm below the average. And she goes, well, I was going to ask to see you in 2 weeks, but now I don't want to see your ass for 6 months. I'll redo your meds, get out of my office. So I was like, yes, ma'am.
So when you go on the road, you're just on the road for months on end.
Dude, in order to make money leasing a truck like I am, because I'm responsible for fuel, I'm responsible for expenses, everything. I have a $1,000 a week truck payment. I'll put it to you that way. It's like leasing a car, only I pay $1,000 a week to lease the thing. And there's advantages of that is that I'm no forced dispatch. So if they try to get me to go up to Newark like I did during my training, I'll tell you that in a fucking minute. Oh my God.
Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah.
You must have loved that.
Oh, fuck Newark. I'm sorry. If you're listening to us from Newark, God bless you for living there.
What a dump Newark is.
Oh, dude, your part of Connecticut isn't much better. I rolled through Waterbury and all that bullshit.
Waterbury is getting worse by the second.
Oh, man. The worst part about it is I've passed Frank Pepe's Beats, and I'm sitting there going, God, I want a slice, but I'm a bit of fucking big rig, and I can't pull over.
I heard that one. That one's relatively new. I don't know how good it is.
Frank Pepe? They've been around for years, man.
Yeah, but the Waterbury franchise is a year or so old.
Oh, okay. But nah, man, Newark. First time we went to Newark, okay? I'll tell you this. Had to deliver it at the airport to FedEx. Okay? And getting there was no problem. Getting into Newark is not a problem. It's getting the fuck out of Newark because there's no truck stops in Newark. Okay? The closest place to really park a truck is up on the New Jersey Turnpike at a service plaza. So my trainer is sleeping. He goes, don't go on the turnpike. I don't want to pay the tolls. Because he's a lease operator like me. We're responsible for tolls.
Right.
So he goes, find a place to park it after you deliver the load. I get into FedEx, I deliver the load, no problem. Now I'm like, fuck it, I got to find a place to park. So on the GPS, it shows that there's a truck stop in the area, so I pull over, find the truck stop. The truck stop is no longer there. The truck stop is literally one fuel island that you could barely pull a big rig into. It's made for straight trucks, little box trucks. It's not made for 53-foot honking sons of bitches like me. So I pass this little rinky-dink fuel island that no longer exists, and now I'm like, fuck it, I'm in downtown fucking Newark. I got to figure out how to get out of here. So I hang my truck is 13 feet 6 inches high. The bridge in front of me past this fuel island is 13.3. Can't go down that way. The only choice I have is to make a right-hand turn. Well, when I make the right-hand turn, as soon as I pop around the corner and I'm halfway turning, I see a thing that says 12'2".
Oh.
Dude, I am now trapped on this fucking street. Can't go forward, can't back up. It's tight as fuck. You can't do it. I'm not trashing my trainer's rig, and it was time for us to swap shifts anyway, so I woke his ass up, and he got us out of there.
Let him do it. Yeah, I don't blame you. How'd he do it?
Basically, there was like this little.
Or did you just like close your eyes and go to bed and be like, figure it out, bro?
I started to, but I wanted to see how he was going to do it. Because he's been for 4 years. So basically, there's like this little dirt lot. So he pulled up as far as he could to the bridge without going under it. Backed up into, basically did an old 3-point turn, got us out of there. Yeah. But this guy, he's got it's a 2019 Freightliner custom built because he's purchasing the truck. After he leases it, he'll own it. So he's got the truck and he's got pictures of his kids all over this truck, like vinyl, like flatheads of his kids all over the sides of this truck. These people are coming up to me the whole 8 weeks I was out with this guy. Are coming up to me while I'm driving and he's sleeping going, man, I love your kids, man. There's some nice kids. Got a nice family. After a while.
Oh, it's on the outside. On the outside.
Yeah, on the outside of the truck. There's like picture a big, those fathead things that people put on their walls?
Yeah,
Picture them, but it's vinyl fucking figures or vinyl fucking stickers, but they're of his kids. He's got 4 kids.
You got a great family, man.
Got a great family. After a while, I told him, I says, dude, the next person that comes up and asks me if they're my kids, I'm going to tell them that, yes, they're my Make-A-Wish children, okay? Finally, one day at a Walmart distribution center, he's sitting right next to me in the passenger seat. Somebody comes knocking on the door going, man, them some great babies you got. I'm like, yep, I pay 42 cents a day for them motherfuckers. Because that's what they say on the commercial, like the little fucking kids over in Africa. You can purchase one for.
You can feed them for 42 cents a day. That's all it takes.
Four redheaded white kids, and I'm like, yes, 42 cents a day. So that's pretty much how that went, and I. It got to the point where after spending 4 weeks on the road with this guy, my trainer was a hell of a trainer. He taught me a lot. He's way better than some of the other guys that are out there training people. But after about 4 or 5 weeks, it was like, okay, we got,
You wanted to kill each other?
Yeah, yeah. So finally I was like, fuck it. I asked where I was in my training. They're like, oh, you're all done. You're beyond done. So, but no, man, I mean, the truck is actually sitting out. My truck is actually sitting out in the driveway right now. The only thing I'm waiting for is my doctor to call in the medications to my pharmacy so I can go get my meds, and then I'll be ready to roll. I'll be rolling, and I won't be back here till first of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to be on the road for the holidays and all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
How's the fam feel about all this?
Dude, they don't fucking miss me while I'm gone. It's probably a...
Send the check.
Yeah.
Send the check.
Send the fucking money.
Load the bank account.
Send the money when you can. Yeah, we got rent here too. I mean, it's why I'm out there doing it is help pay bills.
So do you have Wi-Fi in the truck?
No, that's another thing. Boost Mobile, if you're listening, we got to talk. That is the shittiest cell phone service. Like around here where I'm at, it works. But unless you're within a major city, like you go out to Paducah, literally Paducah, folks, doesn't work. Doesn't work.
See, that's that bullshit they try to sell you on, like, oh, you're on the Sprint network, you're on the Verizon network. Well, yeah, what portion of the network?
And then 3 gigs of memory or of data a month. It kicks over on the 16th. By the midday on the 16th, it's telling me you've used 88% of your data. We're gonna throttle your speeds. So luckily, there is now a phone sitting in Springfield with my name on it. That is through Sprint service that I get unlimited everything for $10 a week, so it's not bad.
There you go.
I just got to go pick up the phone.
That'll help you.
Yeah, so I mean that'll help me, And then truck stops have Wi-Fi too.
Right.
Some of them have free Wi-Fi inside, so if I want to record and then upload something, it may take a while because the Wi-Fi inside the truck stops are slow as fuck. But I can always take the laptop into the driver's lounge or whatever, connect to it. I'm good to go.
But I'm concerned. I don't want you to miss the All Divas pay-per-view.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I wanted to talk about some movie news, and you're going to jump right into that shit, because I know you could give two shits about movie news. Which
no, we can talk about movies. I was just busting your ass. To be honest with you, this is the honest to God's truth. When it comes to pro wrestling right now,
I haven't watched Raw since I left in May.
Dude, the last thing I've watched, I started.
You watched All In, motherfucker. You know you watched that.
No. I'm talking about WWE. I did. Of course, I watched All In. All In was tremendous.
Twice.
WWE was. I watched half of Extreme Rules and stopped halfway through, went to sleep, and haven't watched since. I don't know. I just have no interest. Now I've seen things. I mean, obviously, social media. I've seen some tidbits and some video of what's going on. I mean, I don't go out of my way to find out. It just kind of, if I come across it, it's something that maybe interests me, I'll watch the video quick. And most of them are Brie Bella either trying to kill herself or someone else. But
Liv Morgan, poor Liv Morgan. Oh man.
Honestly, as bad as that was, I thought
I've turned into one of those people.
So you haven't seen the dives?
No.
Oh, I will send them to you because they are tremendous.
I'm the type of person that
you will be like watching those. You'll be shocked that they actually let her get into a wrestling ring again.
Dude, they let her get into a ring because of who she's sucking and fucking. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they don't want to piss off Daniel Bryan and have him, heaven forbid,
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. I think that their whole Divas Revolution or Women's Revolution shit.
I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say something controversial that's going to piss a lot of female people off, but I'm sick
of course.
But I'm sick of this SJW shit, okay? I'm sick of the fucking SJW bullshit. So if anybody who wants to suck Kenny Omega's dick wants to come at me, come at me. But I'm sick of it, okay? If it's one thing I've learned from watching Mecha Random 42 on the internet, who is a brilliant YouTuber, check her out, is that not all women are SJW hags, and she's a prime example of it. She will fucking she's the first one to tell you that she's sick of SJW stuff. So not all women are going to be offended by what I'm getting ready to say. And for those of you who are not, thank you. For those of you who are going to be offended by this, fuck off in advance. But Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, fucking Michelle McCool, they're not women's wrestlers. They're fucking divas. I know that there has been a long fucking goddamn thing on the internet lately from...
That's where I was headed.
You know, everybody going, they're not divas. They're women. There's no such thing as a diva. Yeah. Bullshit. Bullshit. They're still from that era where it's, we barely throw fucking punches and kicks. I'm sorry, but if this was 6 years ago, the damn Brie Bella twins would be having bra and panties schoolgirl matches.
I just, this is my take on the whole thing is, I think it's the whole idea of it's a farce for the sense of just what you said. As I've said to other people after watching some of these clips of Brie Bella attempt to wrestle, and listen, I've heard all the excuses about, you know, everybody makes mistakes and okay, yep, I got you. But she's not good at anything she does. No, so I don't want to hear anybody makes mistakes because she's not entertaining at all. She, honestly, her sister's far better looking than she is too. And listen, don't get on us for talking about looks, because the bottom line is they're still making it about looks. Yes. And the bottom line is this. If they wanted a women's revolution and all this other stuff, the Bella Twins should have nothing to do with it, because they're the poster children for the bathroom baked divas matches. You can't just tell me it's a revolution and they're part of it and I'm supposed to believe it because the Bellas are involved. No, and they're not the only ones. They're just the poster childs for this. And they do have talented women's wrestlers in WWE. They don't do much with them from what I could see. And again, I haven't been watching much lately, but I don't, you know, when I see more clips of Eye Candy and Brie Bella fucking up than I do of anything else women's wrestling right now. I don't see clips of Asuka anywhere. I don't see Asuka. I always call her Asuka. Asuka. I don't see clips of her. I watch a tremendous women's match at All In. The Impact women's division, I don't watch Impact weekly, but I've been somewhat keeping up on it. Impact women's division has been tremendous. You know, we've gone back and forth about Tessa Blanchard before. Tessa Blanchard's killing it right now.
She is.
Not in WWE.
That's because
not in WWE. Just because you put women in main events and have a first time ever women's Royal Rumble and have a first time ever women's Hell in a Cell and have a first time ever women's only pay-per-view doesn't mean it's good and entertaining. It just means you're doing it. I understand and I agree with the premise. But when you're talking about entertainment value and something that I want to watch or you want to watch or a whole slew of other people I know want to watch, it's just not it.
No.
Whatever they're doing is not working. And by bringing back the Bellas and then going the route of bringing back half the women from the Attitude Era, what they're telling you once again, like they always tell you, and you could write it down every year when WrestleMania season comes around. This is what they do. Our roster is not good enough to entertain you. We need to try to recapture past glory. I've been saying this thing for half a decade. It's never changed. It's never going to change. Come on, they're doing The Undertaker versus Triple H again and making it sound like it's a big deal.
Well,
I mean, what is it, 99 to 100?
Hold on. In all fairness, they're bringing back Undertaker versus Triple H because it's a bought show that the Prince Ahmadinejad over there and fucking whatever or the fucking Aussies have paid for this. They said,
okay, another sorry to cut you off, but another example is Saudi Arabia. You go to Saudi Arabia, you take their money, you can't even bring the women with you. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, dude, that's the country. That's not the company.
But they still took their money. If they're about women, they should have said no. Why? They said if our women are on the card, we'll come. If they're not, we're not coming.
I'm sorry.
Why can't they say that?
Any other businessman, any other independent company would have done the exact same fucking thing.
I understand because it's all about dollars and cents, and I get that. But I'm just saying is don't tell me it's just about women equality and all this other bullshit. It's not about that. It's about dollars and cents. Just keep it real.
With women's, and I know what people are going to say. Well, Joe, it's a worldwide thing now with social media. The whole world, there are no borders anymore, really. Bullshit. Their culture, their religion dictates that women are to be seen, not fucking heard. Okay? You know what? I
mean, they just started driving this year.
They just started being able to go to the fucking
Give me
movies.
A break.
But you know what, though? That's them. And that's the way they live their fucking lives. And if the women over there want to start a real revolution and start throwing fucking rocks and pick up fucking guns and for revolt, or try to fucking have a suffragette rally or whatever, go ahead.
I wonder how the feminists in this country who think they're so mistreated would feel living in a country like that. They have no fucking idea.
Okay. Now, if WWE was to do that here in a country where women do have equality and do have the right to vote or whatever, then you could say a thing. Then you could have a hassle of it. But don't chastise a business going over to other countries. Okay, that's like saying the oil companies should not refine their fucking oil because their women can't drive cars. No.
I think but it's different because the oil company is not trying to send me a message that we're equal, no bullying, we're all about equality and which is total horseshit anyway. But they're trying to send that message. The oil company's not trying to send that message. The oil company's saying, I'm going to sell you this goddamn oil for however I can make it. If it's $36 billion next year, so be it. Up your ass.
What do you expect?
The WWE have no problem taking the money from a country who's all about everything that they're supposedly not about. It's hypocritical at a minimum.
It's business.
I understand it, but it doesn't mean it's not hypocritical.
Would it be better if they were able to go on there and go, hey, we wanted to bring the women here, but the cultures of this country dictate it, and we can't do that. But we're a worldwide based company. We try to do as many fan bases as we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a couple women's matches on Raw this money to compensate or something.
Yeah. While the royal family that paid for this is in lounge chairs around the ring.
Dude, hey, I'm sorry, they paid for it. At the end of the day, the almighty dollar rules the world.
I understand that, but it doesn't mean it's not hypocritical though.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's hypocritical at all. If they could bring the women over there and have a women's match, they probably would have. It's not hypocritical for me.
It's hypocritical from the standpoint as they're going. They're half of the stuff they're trying to sell you on right now is that it's all equal.
WWE.
The women, the guys, the kids.
It's
all equal.
WWE, man. It's every fucking body. But God,
of course, but that's what we're talking about now, though.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, we're getting ready to the show Doctor Who. We're getting ready to have a female Doctor Who. Are you telling me that if goddamn Prince Ahmed says, we want to pay you $1 million to do Doctor Who over here, but we don't want to add the one with the woman because of our culture. We only want David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, whatever. You're telling me that BBC is going to turn down $10 million to sit there and go and say, no, if you can't show the new seasons. No, the BBC is going to say, okay, we already got these episodes in the fucking can. Here you go. Air them to your heart's content. Give me your money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the company's bad. It doesn't mean that the BBC is bad. It doesn't mean that WWE is bad. They made a business decision, and to me, just having an event in a big-ass stadium like that and taking a break when prayer is supposed to go on and you can see people in the background praying to Mecca, doing that right there is a good message to me. I don't think it's hypocritical at all. They made that it's the way. What are they supposed to do? Not go?
Let me ask you a question. What if they went somewhere and they said you can't have any black athletes on the show?
What are they supposed to? Okay, well then you can't have any black athletes on the show because you're going to their country. It's their rules. It's okay.
Dude, you're going down a lot of slippery slopes by going after the almighty dollar that way.
If they go to Africa and Africa says we don't want any crackers on the fucking show, Whitey's out. Sorry. It's the way it is.
I think you're giving them way too much of a pass by just saying it's the way it is.
It's business. What did
Yeah, but listen, you're dismissing what their message is.
I could get, their message, here's the thing. When they got back here after Saudi Arabia, if they could have, I do agree that they could have acknowledged it and said, hey, this country's rules and their culture dictate this. We obliged with their culture and with their religion.
But they're never going to say that because the reason they went there is clearly money. And then we can make a lot of money off them, and then we'll put this fucking dog and pony show on the network. That's cool. But it still goes against everything they're trying to be right now. It goes against that message, everything they're trying to be.
Dude,
and they're never going to answer it because let's face it, they don't answer anything controversial. Dude, when Brock Lesnar fails an actual drug test, well, he's not our employee. Bullshit.
Don't have to answer to anybody.
It's the way they do it. It's the way they do it. It's the way they do it. Everything.
When their stock price is steadily increasing, which by the end of next month it's probably going to be $100 a share. I don't see how the message is getting. I don't see how they're hypocritical if people keep buying their fucking stock. How can you call someone hypocritical?
Might not always be that way, though.
Their shit is fucking increasing. You know why they don't care about the message they're trying to send and why Raw doesn't get better? Because countries like Australia is paying them millions of dollars. Prince
but they're gonna start having to answer to the Piper really soon because their TV deals that they're gonna have in this country coming up very soon.
Fox is paying them $1 billion to go over there.
$1 billion to give them quality ratings.
Yeah,
if they don't give them quality ratings, that's gonna go away.
Here's what I was explaining. Like my trainer in truck when I was driving, he's a real big guy into the stock market. And we were listening to CNBC one day, and they had Mark Abaros, I think his name is, or whoever Vince's right-hand man is. You mean Stephanie is buying? Easy E in the chat, the Game Hunter says, you mean Stephanie is buying the stock so she could sell it again in January?
Yeah, probably.
But anyway.
Just sell it again before Fox kicks them out on their ass.
Yeah, but then people will accuse her of insider trading, but she's going to be like, no, we're within the law.
It was a work.
I was telling my trainer's sitting there going.
It was a storyline.
My trainer.
Stephanie couldn't even go to Saudi Arabia.
You're gonna run No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't.
Fucking disgrace.
Anyway. Personally, do I think it's bad? Yes. Do I think they should have equality for women over there? Yes. But
my only point is my only point with them is this. And you're 100% right. We all know it's about the almighty dollar. Everything's always about money. We understand that. But my point being is it's hypocritical from the standpoint is don't every week sit and run out there and run Stephanie out there every week with all these dog and pony shows like first time ever, women's battle royal, first time ever, women's pay-per-view. The women are just as important as the men. Well, guess what? When it comes to money, clearly they're not.
They throw $1 million. Okay. Somebody says, hey, AC, we want to have a show. We're gonna pay you $1 million to put this wrestling show on.
It's not a fair comparison because I don't have a G5. Vince McMahon does. You know what I'm saying? Tell me where I am at life, then I can answer that question. You know, I might throw my morals out the window right now for $1 million. Sure, because you know what? I'll buy them back later. But, you know, where am I at in life? You know, if I'm fucking Elon Musk, I'm going to stick your $1 million and shove it up your ass. True. You know what I mean? It depends on, you know, it's all relative to who you are.
Hell,
let me ask you a question. Does Vince McMahon and the WWE need Saudi Arabia's money that bad that they could trash?
Here's why.
Act like they're doing. But here's the thing too. They act like they're somehow moving things forward in Saudi Arabia by going there. Really? How?
The only way women could attend that show is if they had a male escort anyway.
And not only that, you couldn't even get within 3 football fields of the fucking ring unless you were part of the royal family. How the hell did they advance anything? If anything, they just showed the world how fucked up things and our way of doing things are over there. Now listen, it is what it is. It's a different country. They go by their own rules. I don't agree with what they do over there. That's fine. That's them. Cool. All I'm saying is you totally sold out just for money. It was a complete money grab.
Yeah. And you know why they took the money? I'll tell you why they took the money. And it goes back to what you said.
He's trying to start another failing fucking football league.
Not only that, but I guarantee you that he's taking all these other countries' money because Japan's probably next. Okay? But that's besides the point. The deal is that he knows that when these ratings start tanking, which Monday night did the fucking lowest rating ever, I think. He knows that, like you said, these TV companies eventually are going to dump him because it's like they're not giving him back on the return. The only reason why
I'll tell you, he's in 2 years.
The only reason why Fox is
get back into election season.
Here's the reason why Fox is taking it. Okay, if you look at TV over the course of the last 10 years with streaming services developing and everything like that, what's been happening? Live TV ratings have sank. Whose ratings have not really sank and have been stagnant over those 10 years? WWE's. And
that's not true.
Dude, they've been drawing low 3s steadily for the last 10 years.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Dude, it is true. They have not fallen off the mark like a fucking Walking
Dead. They haven't been. First of all, they were over a low 3, and they've been steadily drawing 3s lately. Really? The last time I was looking at ratings, it was in the 2s.
Not lately. But I'm telling you, like that's their mindset. That's these networks' mindset is wrestling is always going to have that core audience. And now that the ink is on the page, though,
that core audience has a lot of other places to go right now.
It's just like Star Wars, man. Let's transition to some Star Wars.
There is another aspect of TV that does still draw pretty good ratings, and it's live sports. And if that's to me, if you're doing a live wrestling show, I understand it's not the same type of competition because it's predetermined and everything else. I won't use the F word.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still more comparable to sports than it is to a sitcom.
Disney thought the same thing with Star Wars. We're going to give you Star Wars, okay? People will always buy it as long as we put Star Wars in the title. Well, then they came out and let Rian Johnson direct that horrible Last Jedi movie. Okay?
Well, they kind of oversaturated it a little, too.
Well, that leads me to what happened here this past week. Bob Iger, the leader of Disney, said, now the buck stops with me, and we're going to slow down the Star Wars stuff. We're going to not oversaturate it. Because they spent $8 million, I think, or was it $80 million? $80 million or whatever it was to make Solo, and it flopped. Nobody.
I haven't even seen it yet,
dude. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's very
the problem you have is when you make that many Star Wars movies that quick together, and they're always going to be compared to the first 3 episodes 4 through 6, and those are very hard to live up to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think like. it's just too much. Like when Force Awakens, it was like so exciting. All right, cool. Then it's like you're waiting for the next one, and you got that Star Wars story movie in there, Rogue One. It was halfway decent, okay, but it just, it got to the point, man, where it's just like it's just too much. Like, now, wait, it's too much too fast.
If they would have said, okay, because it got to be where it was
as annoying as it is to wait a couple years, it's almost better because the payoff at that point's better.
Yeah. I mean, so when Disney purchased the stuff from Lucasfilm, they put a woman in charge, Kathleen Kennedy. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
We're going down this slippery slope again.
Yes, we are, my friend.
Oh God.
Yes, we are. So they did the last.
So is Kavanaugh innocent?
The last, I don't even know.
I'll stop. No, we'll go later. At least save it. We got to get Hollywood up for that.
Yeah, Hollywood's not coming on tonight.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
I know, right? He said he doesn't even have his audio equipment worked out yet or hooked up.
Anyway. We got it. Well, he had. I think he had some flooding and issues there. Basement.
Crazy.
A lot of there was a shit ton of rain the last few months in these parts.
Came right through where I live. So
we might have to send him to Parts Unknown and go by satellite feed with DJ Stames.
Here's why his audio book or his audio equipment's not hooked up, because he's too busy writing his new book, and he told me to plug it tonight. It's called, let me see here. It's called Making a Dassey Part 2.
It's coming out. Hey, see, I was texting him about it the other day. The fucking Making a Murderer is coming out in a couple weeks.
It is?
Part 2, yeah. October 19th, I think it is.
They got a lot of shit Netflix dropping. But anyway, back to Star Wars here. They hired this woman named Kathleen Kennedy to oversee Lucasfilm. So she's like, basically, Bob Iger runs Disney. She reports to Bob Iger and lets him know what's going on with Star Wars. Last Jedi came out last Christmas, and fucking fans revolted against it. Okay, so
I wasn't. I gotta say, I wasn't that thrilled with it, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think it was the worst ever, but
fucking horrible. I hated it. It had pacing issues out the ass. Hated it. But anyway, so
God damn it, where is it?
So what happened now is Bob Iger did an interview, I think, with either Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, and they asked about Star Wars, and he's like, yeah, we realize we're putting out too much too soon, but I'm the head honcho now, and everybody's going to be reporting to me on that. And he did not mention Kathleen Kennedy at all, which is the lady that he put in charge originally of Star Wars. There was also a rumor going around that in a board meeting of all the figureheads, like the leader of Marvel, the leader of the Disney animation, everybody was gathered around the boardroom table, and he berated her in front of the boardroom, chastised her. Well, everybody thought, because he did not mention this woman in this interview a couple of days ago, that, that must mean either she's in the doghouse really fucking bad, or she's about to get fired. News came out, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday. No, they decided to sign her to a 2 to 3 year deal, contract extension. And all the Star Wars fans are like,
if you fire me,
well, that's the thing.
I'm taking them all down.
That's the thing. They're scared.
Every guy who texted me in this building's going down.
Yes, that's just it. They're scared to fire any woman in a position of power.
Hashtag me too.
Exactly.
Why are you doing this to me? You're making me agree with you on this subject, and now I'm gonna look like a fucking womanizer too. I'm not. Hey, listen, there's a lot of levels to this issue. I'll leave it at that. There's a lot of levels.
I know there's a lot of fucking, we can pick and choose what we want to defend and attach to
listen, there's a lot of levels because there's a lot of politicians in this country who are manipulating things in the direction they want it to go. And if any of you out there think that the left gives a flying fuck about any of your personal sexual situations, I got a Brooklyn Bridge I could sell you, because they don't give a flying fuck if it doesn't have anything to do with their fucking political agenda.
Nobody up on that hill has anybody's best interest in heart.
That's the truest thing that's been said on this podcast.
Speaking of politics, let's talk about Kane. Getting back to wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Hey,
Kane.
you know what? You brought up DC and all that. What is going on with Batman and Superman and reboots, and I did see some test shots of Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. I thought it looked pretty interesting.
The red nose is horrible. Get rid of the red nose and it'll look good. They're doing an origin story with Joker.
Right, that's separate from everything else.
Yeah, basically, and Martin Scorsese was attached to it, but then I guess he's seen how things were going and he fucking got away from that as quick as he could.
That's a bad sign.
They got Shazam coming out here in the next few months, which actually looks good.
Is that a reboot with Shaq still as Shazam, or?
Yo, man, I'm gonna be a genie. I'm gonna be a genie. Yo, man, throw me the ball. I'm gonna be a genie.
If there was anything worse than his rap music.
Let me reboot. I'll save the franchise. Come on. It's my Shaq impression.
Oh, God.
Well, dude, they rebooted Shaq Fu, the video game. They redid it. They redid Shaq Fu. His story in go look up the story mode for Shaq Fu. He was a baby who arrived to this Chinese woman in a basket like Moses in the fucking reeds.
Let's see.
Oh man, but no, so they can't fire.
Trying to find a goddamn release date for Making a Murderer 2. It is.
Is it focusing
October 19th.
Damn, I'm gonna be gone.
So that'll be. You could watch it on your
on my phone,
$200 laptop.
You can watch it on my
in a
phone.
hotel room in Paducah.
It'd be funny if the murderer on this season was from Paducah.
Right.
Or is it based on the Dassey clan again?
I think it's. You know what? That is a good question because I know they were going in both directions. There's actually supposedly 3 kind of documentaries being done about this. From what I was reading, there was a Making a Murderer type documentary being done about another situation, but there was also what's been going on with the appeals and Dassey and Avery since the last one went off air. But there was also supposed to be a spinoff that came from the law enforcement side that was supposed to bring light to things that were left out of the original. This one here, I'll just read this article real quick if you want to jump in for a second, and I'll.
But I mean, the thing is that the Making a Murderer deal, okay? This thing baffles the fuck out of me because here, all right, I'm gonna use a word again. Oh my God, here we go. The fucking kid is half retarded, folks. Okay, he's 3 lamb chops short of a mixed grill. Right.
Yeah, this is this is the continuation of the Dassey Avery saga.
But
there actually is a short trailer here. It's not very revealing, but there is one.
There is a trailer. I would try to play it, but my internet would this laptop would fucking kill.
Let me I'll send you a link here.
Yeah, send me the link on Twitter. Because the Wikipedia page has nothing about Making a Murderer 2.
Here, hold on. But yeah, it is a continuation. But you were go ahead. What were you saying, Dassey, with the? Yeah, he's not very smart.
He's not very smart. He's 3 fries short of a Happy Meal. Just release the kid. Give him compassionate release. He spent most of his teenage years in prison. He has no schooling. When he does get out, he's going to be no harm to anybody. His mother's he's probably going to be like a fucking...
I mean, is that true though? Are you 100% positive he's not going to be a harm to anybody?
Yes.
I mean, wouldn't the more logical thing to me is to be to him remanded to some kind of facility for evaluations and at least for the short term, evaluate him and I get. Listen, I don't have an issue with people saying that his testimony was coerced because I think it's relatively clear that that was probably the case, if not definitely the case. But I'm not 100% convinced that he's innocent either. So, I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22 type of thing. I just think that when you're dealing with someone who's not the brightest and could have possibly been involved with something like this, plus throw in the caveat that he has been locked up for all this time, you know, that could, who knows what he's been doing in lockup, what he's been reading, what he's been into, what he's been dealing with. I just think the more logical thing to do would be to, at least for the short term, do an evaluation, you know, make sure really make sure he's not a threat to society. Don't just assume because you have a pretty good idea his confession was coerced that he wasn't, because when it comes to him, he's not the only one that gave contradicting testimony. His sister originally basically said he did it and then went on the stand and said he didn't. You know, I mean, I get it. You're not dealing with the brightest people in the world, but at the same time, I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said, was he a part of it? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of Russian roulette with that one.
Thing. I think he was coerced, and here's what I think happened.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't a part of it, though.
Yeah, he was a part of it, and I think okay.
So would you want to just release someone like that onto society? Plus, he's going to get out of jail, and they're going to say it was over coerced confession, and they're going to try to sue the balls off everybody. Yeah. You know, I think you at least need to get down to the bottom of this a little bit more before you open up all those boxes.
Here's what I think happened. He came in and he walked into the fucking trailer when his uncle was fucking murdering a woman, okay? And rather than he has two choices at that point. And the uncle is probably sitting there telling him to fucking go ahead and murder the woman, okay? We'll get away with it. He can hide it.
But here's the thing. If you agree that all happened, then you agree the picture that was painted of them is very accurate.
Yeah. But the kid has two choices. Either he can run away and be killed himself, because who knows that.
I mean, do you know he's going to get killed, though?
You don't know that he's not.
Right, but listen, I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this with 100% certainty. And obviously, I'm not simple-minded like the person we're talking about here. But if I was in that situation and I had the option of fighting for my life with my uncle or being complicit in raping and murdering and burning a woman, me and my uncle will be throwing down, bro. Without question. It's not even a question in my mind. And you know what? If I lose that and I end up dead, I end up dead. There's nothing in this world. Nothing. The threat of you shooting, if you put a gun to my head and be like, rape her and kill her, or I'm going to blow your brains out, I'm going to tell you to blow my fucking brains out. And listen, I'm just telling you that if you don't look at it that way, you got to get an evaluation yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the boy, like I said, the boy probably has some mental health issues to begin with.
I mean, bro, like the kid was in fucking the lockup worried about watching WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, his life is on the line. He's thinking about WrestleMania, which, dude, there's some issues there, bro. So, I mean, like, I'm just saying I'm not saying don't let him out of jail. And listen, they're keeping him in jail for a reason right now. My point is, all right, so you want to get him out of jail? Put him somewhere, let him get evaluated, let people look into this a little bit. And you know what? If he has to spend 6, 8, 10 months, even a year in some kind of institution to make sure, or at least try to make sure that he's not a threat to society, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that. He's been locked up all this time anyway.
That's bullshit to me, because I'm sorry, you could do all those evaluations, okay?
It's an attempt, though.
They could deem him competent, and then all of a sudden they could sit there and go, yeah, he could go out there and murder. Think about all these mass shootings. He could,
Joe, but at least you did some due diligence. You didn't just say, oh, hey, kid, you know what? You're a fucking dumbass. We coerced your testimony. Here you go. We're going to release you back onto society, when there's a very good chance that he was somewhat complicit in whatever happened.
But all these mass shootings that are happening, what's the first thing people generally say about the fucking guy who did it? He was always a nice guy. He never bothered anybody. He was.
When do you hear that?
Dude, it was all over. He was a nice guy. He never.
I never hear that. I hear the complete opposite. I hear we called the cops. We knew he was nutball. What the hell? Why isn't this kid locked up? The fucking Florida shooter. The FBI got called twice on him. He had like 39 police reports. Yeah, he had all kinds of problems. You didn't hear one good thing about that kid.
They interview the neighbors and go, "We never heard a peep out of him," and then they get
on
this Twitter.
You're thinking about like some, I don't know what you're thinking. All these mass shootings, you're crazy. You never hear that.
Then they get on the people's Twitter.
If anything, you hear the opposite. I knew there was a problem with that kid. I knew there was a problem.
Goddamn. So the trailer for fucking The Making a Murderer. It's a little teaser deal, which they're not going to reveal anything because they want you to watch this shit. Because part one.
Well, I mean, listen, dude. When that fucking thing comes out, they're going to crash the Netflix server. It was like the most watched show in Netflix history, which is like saying a lot.
Here's the thing. Okay.
People have been drooling for that fucking show to come back.
With part 2, ever since season 1 hit, you have websites and timelines and everything dedicated to it. You could go on there and find anything you want to about this thing. So, yeah, we're going to hear interviews from the attorneys, and we're going to hear interviews from the family about what's been going on. And we may even hear interviews from these 2 kids, or from this guy and this kid. But
I've read some stuff. It's all kind of vague. I'm gonna fucking watch it, bro. I'm with it. Listen. I've been very into docuseries anyway, so I'm ready. I want to see it. I want to see what's going on.
The teaser trailer is basically, you know how they do the hash marks, the tally marks of how many days you've been in jail on the wall. So it's a bunch of those, and then it zooms out from the hash marks, and the hash marks are like a portrait of Melvin Dassey's or
Well, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna interview Brendan Dassey's best friend in jail, and it's gonna be Magic Mike Ferrara.
You know something? I've been sellies with this guy. I've been sellies with this guy for 2 years now.
So we're gonna go to WrestleMania together, Joe White, you fucking scumbag.
I tell you what, man, they confiscated my Devil's jersey when I came in here, but let me tell you something, man. The Dassey kid, he's no mark, bro.
I gotta tell you, there was probably 2 months ago. I went back on your YouTube page and found all that and listened to it, and I was crying.
That's classic radio, man.
I was high as fuck, just like laughing my balls off.
For those who don't know, the reason why we're talking about this is because we were talking about Making a Murderer, and I'll go back on the archive.
We tied a few stories together that night.
So yeah, it's a running joke that all me, AC, and Jeff Edwards have. But
so basically, the long and short of it was we were talking about Melvins, because at the time, Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, Tico around came out with the big Melvin thing. No Melvins. So then we got onto the Making a Murder thing, and we kind of put Melvin Dassey together. Yeah. And then while this was going on, our I guess, would you call him a colleague? More like a Magic Mike member.
Magic Melvin Ferrara.
A follower posted a picture with Cody and Brandy Rhodes, and
he's a mark. Okay.
I don't know. We just kind of nominated him to be Melvin Dassey, and I don't. There might have been some social media involved, and somehow we actually got him to call in, and he was not too friendly to me and Joe. He wasn't. He loves Edwards. Edwards is his best friend. Hollywood screenwriter. Book writer, loves him to death, but
Edwards
Joe White's a fucking scumbag, and me and him used to be best friends. I never knew we were best friends, but that night he told me we were best friends. Never met him in my life.
And Edwards has gotten 2 book deals out of it. So,
and he got very upset that we called him out because he claimed that he got free pictures with Cody Rhodes, and we did not believe him. And you don't know who I know, Cody Rhodes, So, I'm sure he had front row seats at All In because he's best friends with Cody.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, the Making a Murderer thing, I'll watch it. I'm more interested in Daredevil Season 3 coming out. But anyway.
Oh, is that coming out?
Dude,
I got to watch that, too.
That's coming in October as well. There's so much shit in Netflix dropping in this wintertime because people.
Yes, because Narcos is coming out in November, I believe, too.
It's getting cold outside. Nobody wants to go out and fucking play, so everybody's gonna be shut in.
Netflix, I'm feeling you right now. I like where you're going with all this.
Disney is getting ready to pull all their content from Netflix.
You know what the thing is?
Streaming service. So Netflix
I get into like binge watch mode, and I binge watch the fuck out of something.
Yep.
And then when I'm done with that, I feel like a piece of me is missing. So I'm like looking for that next like, and it's really got to be something that grabs me. You know what I mean? Like it's really got to grab me, and it grabs me and pulls me in, and then I'm in it. I'm in it again. So if they go like boom 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 with all those, that'd be tremendous for me. Tremendous.
Well, fucking Walking Dead's gonna pretty much die after they kill Rick off this season. So
I'm not very excited about this season. I got to be honest.
Man,
I mean,
dude,
I'm always up and down on that show anyway. I'll give it a shot, but I'm very. I tried to do Fear the Walking Dead. I can't do it, bro. I just can't do it. It's terrible. It is fucking terrible.
They screwed themselves when they let Andrew Lincoln, the guy who plays Rick. They screwed themselves when they let that guy come out at Comic-Con and go, "Yeah, it's my last season." Dude, give me some fucking surprise.
Think he's lying?
No, because AMC is touting it as the last episodes of Rick.
What if they center the show around Negan?
Dude, I don't know.
He's the only other guy that could carry it.
Well,
I mean,
Rick
Maggie, no. Daryl, no.
Rick is still alive in the comics. That's what kills me. The comic book people are fucking. The comic book readers are fucking furious.
I don't care about those people. I don't. Listen, fuck your comic books. Seriously. If you like your comic book, that's great. The show doesn't have to follow your fucking comic book.
You would have no Walking
Dead
if it wasn't for the comic book.
Well, it doesn't have to follow it though. It gave you a guideline.
Yeah, I mean you're right because it says it's based on it. It doesn't say, "Hey, we're gonna give you an actual full-on."
Listen, I'm not trying to say anything bad about comic book people. I know it's a big. My brother's going to fucking and my cousin are going to Comic-Con this weekend in New York City. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Like I mean, I only have so many hours in the day, and to read a fucking cartoon, I'm just not gonna do it. Like it's just I'll watch it. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna read it. Like I don't know. Listen, the book. Any great movie. Read the book. The book is always 10 times better. Yeah. It's just the way it goes. Yeah. The problem is with things now is people are little pussies about everything. Oh my God. Rick was supposed to lose an arm in that episode. Yep. That was bullshit, man. Oh my, get a grip.
You sound like me with the whole SJW thing. No, you're attacking the comic book nerds. You're just like, man.
Oh God. It's not just I could go on for days with this stuff.
So let's talk a little bit about because I'm sitting here going, this is a glorified circle jerk of an indie show.
That's what it's supposed to be, though.
I'm a huge fan of Jordan Grace, and the fact that she was able to people are saying.
Oh, you watched the pre-show?
I know. I watched the pre-show and then like the first 3 matches of the main show. But let me tell you something about Jordan Grace, okay? And this is where I'm going to defend the women a little bit here. I'm going to defend women here, folks.
The women were tremendous on All In, including her.
But all the SJWs are out there going, I don't agree that she took a kick to the face. Let me enlighten you people, okay? I sound like that fucker in Twister. Let me enlighten you people.
Give her credit for just hanging with the dudes. How about that? How about you give her some credit?
No.
How about that?
It's not just the credit. If you're a woman, and let's say I was a female and I was going to go down to the CWF dojo and sign up. I want to become a women's wrestler, okay? Or not even women. I want to become a wrestler, okay? And I'm a woman. Who the fuck do you think I'm going to be training with? Men. This isn't the WWE Performance Center where all the women get together under fucking what's-her-face and train with them. No. 90% of all wrestling schools, the women train with the men and take bumps off of them and for them anyway.
Can I add on to that? Not just wrestling.
Yeah.
You throw boxing, MMA, wrestling, amateur wrestling, all that into that because I happen to know a fine young lady who is fighting for Bellator at Mohegan Sun in a couple weeks. and she prefers to train with men.
Exactly. So don't get
because when she feels like when she trains with men and then she gets into the cage with women, they don't feel as strong. They don't hit as hard. They're not as hard to maneuver. So I know God created us all equal, but some men might be stronger than women. I mean, that's what I'm going with from what she's telling me. I mean, I don't want to piss anybody off, but hey,
I'm used to Jimmy smacking me around, so this bitch is nothing, you know?
I mean, maybe that's why every time some, 12-year-old asshole thinks he's a fucking girl and wants to run track, outruns the girls by, 20 fucking yards on every race and then acts like he's some kind of superstar. Yeah. I mean, could that be the reason? I don't know. Maybe he's just a fine athlete. I have no idea.
So to sit there and go, I don't agree with her wrestling men and getting kicked in the face like that.
Then don't wrestle men.
Okay. But yet these are the same.
What if a girl? What if a girl kicked her in the face? Why is it okay for a girl to kick her in her face and not a guy?
That's what I'm saying. These are the same SJW fuckers that want to see China in the Hall of Fame. China made a career out of wrestling men and getting kicked in the face and press slamming them and shit.
And she should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Come on, but she should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm a huge Jordynne Grace fan. I love Jordynne Grace.
Why are you no-selling my comment? Just kidding. Anyway, all right, Jordynne Grace.
I'm a huge Jordynne Grace fan. I've been preaching, you know me, I've been preaching her shit for a year now, and I actually got to meet her at a Queens of Combat show a few months back at around the first of the year.
Sexist name. That is such a sexist name for a show.
What, Queens of Combat? Oh, they have a purple ring apron and a purple canvas. Oh,
even worse. The horror.
That's the business is ending right there. Let's not forget 10 years ago, Jimmy Hart was doing Wrestlicious. So, come on.
I mean, it's so much better than Edge, fucking Lita on national TV.
Yeah, the nip slip coming out.
What's funny? I saw a little montage of Rock promos the other day, and he was calling Coach a monkey and all this other shit, and all this terminology he used. I'm like, oh my god!
Well, have you heard
if he actually runs for president, like the other side is just gonna show he called another black man a monkey. He's a racist. You can just see it coming. I'm like, there's just no. I actually take it back. The Rock should never run for president because they're gonna take every promo he cut in WWE and make it like, you see? Did you see what The Rock said about Lillian Garcia and Poontang Pie? He objects women. He's a misogynist.
He brung a woman on in the ring and told her to poontang her ass on out of here.
He called her mama.
Yeah. He called her private parts poontang. Not only is that sexist towards women, that's racist towards the Asians. I mean,
you know why The Rock, why Vince loves The Rock so much? You could tell Vince just wants to be The Rock.
Yeah.
He's probably, every time The Rock cut a promo, Vince was probably in the back stroking it like, oh, pal, look at that. Look at that man, pal.
Look at that man, pal. God damn it. He's half black and half Islander.
He's the next racist politician. He called Coach a monkey.
God,
get rid of him.
Damn it, pal.
Racist. Get him out of here.
Then again, here's Vince McMahon, the same guy who said the N-word on
TV. He made all his $7 off his father. His father got his business going, gave him $7. He bought him Waffle House.
Waffle House.
It was all JR. That fucking barbecue sauce.
I want a pecan waffle, god damn it. Anyway. But now, have you heard the latest rumor regarding The Rock?
The latest rumor?
There's a latest rumor going around that he gave Lana some of the strudel one time.
Yeah. I mean, listen. If any woman turned down The Rock, I'd be shocked. So I can't be shocked if he gave anybody the strudel.
I'm straight as hell, and I wouldn't turn down The Rock because it would make me famous. It would give me 1 million subscribers.
I got butt fucked by The Rock on Jabroni Drive in Paducah.
I smelled what he's cooking. Tune in, I'll tell you all about it.
See, this is why you don't want to ever be Rusev, because The Rock could take your girl, he could take your spot. You know what I mean? He could bury you on WrestleMania. The Rock could do whatever he wants to you in life. You want to be The Rock. You don't want to be Rusev Day. Rusev Day is like a thing. The Rock is bigger than life. You know.
The Rock can tell you to take Rusev Day and shove it up your ass, and you know.
I mean, like, The Rock decided he was going to go to Brooklyn and he was going to bitch slap somebody, and it happened to be Rusev.
Yeah. You know, then he came down to Paducah and turned it sideways. You know.
I brought her down Jabroni Drive, sang her a little Elvis.
I took him to the. Yeah, you remember I took you to the SmackDown Hotel there, Joe White. Yeah.
The Rock's having another child, half Russian.
Russian Rock.
Oh, God. It's a bot. See? The Rock sided in Russia, too. Putin planted The Rock to sleep with Lana. I figured it out. It's all Putin's plan. Get Trump into office, then have The Rock impregnate Lana, and then The Rock could become president, and a Russian offspring will be heir to the, heir to the throne of the United States at some point.
It's not even where she's from. It's the fact that he's got to have a white lady as his first lady.
Listen, I need an FBI investigation into this. I need one.
You know, hey, Mama, you want to be my first lady? She's got to be white as snow. Come here, Mama.
I need an FBI investigation. Did The Rock sleep with Lana? If The Rock slept with Lana, can't be president. He's done.
Capitol Hill going, the senator from Paducah, Kentucky will have 3 minutes. Go ahead, Senator.
Could you imagine if The Rock walked into Washington, D.C.? Like, every single elected official would collectively, like, turn around and be like, oh, man, we're never getting laid again. You know? Every woman is going to be up The Rock's ass, and they are not even going to look at us. Like, even Trump. Trump would just be like, I'm headed back to New York. I'm out of here.
I'm done. He could be sitting there at the United Nations. What's your name here, sir, from Ghana? It doesn't matter what your name is.
God.
You over there, North Korea, Kim Jong, whatever, you fucking monkey ass is.
Rock bottom through the table, people's elbow.
We don't need nukes. All we need is to lay a smackdown on that candy.
Cutting promos.
Have Arnold Schwarzenegger as his vice president.
You know he would actually win though. And you know why The Rock would win? Because there's a portion of men that would just totally, it didn't matter what the fuck he said, they would vote for him. And the women would be like, oh my God, that would be the hottest president I've ever seen. He's so good looking and he's so funny. Like, I'm voting for The Rock.
He would get the women vote. He would get the men vote. He would get the gay vote. He would get the African vote. He would get all the minorities. The minorities of the minorities. The gay, black, Jewish men. He would get their votes because he's The Rock.
I mean, he might win in the biggest landslide ever.
He would.
I take it back. I take it all back.
Ever since Schwarzenegger won the governor
The Rock is the man to unite the nation. Yeah. We need someone to unite the nation. It's got to be The Rock.
It's got to be The Rock.
The Rock's the only guy that can do it.
First Lady Lana, he's probably going to be like, listen, honey. I love you, but you got to drop that accent and lose the name. So she's going to go back to being C.J. Perry or whatever her name is.
She's not even Russian, right? She's like a fucking actress.
Her name is C.J. Perry. She's a former singer who used to be in music videos, dude.
Yes. I'm like,
dude, she's white as snow. I'm telling you. That's why Rock wants her for his first lady. One black man sitting in the Oval Office is too much. We can't have all the black people up in there. So I got to have me a white lady.
Stop it.
I got to have me a white lady. I got to get a cracker up in there just to ease the tension, okay?
No, the best part is when he clears the Oval Office out and makes it a fucking gym.
Obama cleared out the damn bowling alley and put a basketball court in. He's gonna get rid of that Rose Garden. Put a fucking.
I'm not going anywhere near that comment.
Put a fucking ring in there.
A wrestling ring in a Rose Garden and a gym in the Oval Office.
Yeah. Fucking the goddamn.
They're gonna have to reinforce Air Force One to carry all his weights around with them.
The goddamn war room is now going to be known as the gorilla position.
The best part will be is Under Armour will be like, so does this mean we can't sell the Rock's merchandise anymore because we'll go out of business?
Well, they're going to make all his suits.
I knew we should have got Colin Kaepernick.
Dude, who do you think Secretary of State's going to be? Don't worry, Colin.
He would not do that. He's too smart for that.
Listen here, jabroni, Colin Kaepernick. I'm used to people kneeling at my feet, so kneel all the fuck you want, pal. It doesn't matter.
He's gonna put a meeting together. Hogan and Kaepernick in a room.
People kneel at my feet everywhere I go, brother. I'm used to it. Go ahead. It doesn't matter what the cause is. It's the Rock's the cause. Kneel all you want, brother.
He shows up to a debate show in a fucking Under Armour t-shirt and Jordans.
Shirt, yeah. Those fucking 1998 athletic pants with the white stripe going down.
Oh, I love those though. I still rock those myself just because of the Rock.
You know who else running the Rock? Because that was Jim Cornette.
I actually showed great restraint last week when they had another release of Rock gear. I didn't buy anything.
Oh shit.
I showed great restraint. I was proud of myself.
You're gonna go swear, man. I, Dwayne Johnson. The Rock says, I, Dwayne Johnson.
Does the whole
in third person.
Does the whole speech in the third person.
The Rock says, I will.
So I know there's 300 million people here that voted for me. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Stop chanting The Rock's name for 5 minutes. I gotta be sworn in. God damn it.
We the senators we don't agree with the president.
By the way,
rock bottom in the middle of the fucking Capitol.
By the way, me and Vin Diesel we have Fast and Furious 26 screening at the Oval Office, baby. Just come on over. Free popcorn for everybody. Me and my white bitch CJ Perry. She's gonna give me head right in the movie theater. Y'all can watch that too.
He's gonna have a different chick in every city.
Yeah, he is. I ain't got the first lady. I got first ladies.
So why is there 67 helicopter landing pads for Marine One in the United States? Well, we decided that he would just land in the backyard to avoid the paparazzi.
Then we couldn't feel as bad as. Then we couldn't feel that bad about going and having no women over there in Saudi Arabia because the fucking prince has 20 wives. So does our president. What the fuck? Like the fucking Scorpion King when he busts in that room with all the women. That's all his wives.
First time ever, main event of WrestleMania: the President versus the Undertaker. As they cart the Undertaker down to the ring.
His music starts off, burn, 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 your smile. And they no longer play Hail to the Chief. He comes out the fucking goddamn. He comes out of Air Force One. It's if you smile.
Oh God.
And they don't salute him. The fucking
that would be the first time Flo Rida ever was invited on Air Force One.
Goddamn Machine Gun Kelly is the fucking Homeland Security guy.
Yeah, with his boss John Cena. Who's your head of the Secret Service? John Cena.
Machine Gun Kelly. You know why Machine Gun Kelly's going to be Homeland Security? Because Rock is going to turn into he's got to please the SJWs. He's got to have at least one tranny up on the damn.
Oh, kill shot.
You can't tell me he didn't used to be a woman. I'm sorry. Fucking Machine Gun Kelly.
Didn't Kevin Owens put him through a table? I think he did.
Put him through a table. Best episode of Raw ever.
Well, especially in the last decade. That's not saying much.
No, oh man. But
so all in. Now that we went on this Rock for President tangent. All in. What matches did you actually watch though? So if you watched so you saw MJF and
I liked me some MJF. I will say that. I liked that match.
Yeah, I like him too. Who? Oh, Matt Cross.
Matt Cross was good. I liked MJF though.
Do you know who Matt Cross is?
Yeah.
Obviously indie star, but also Son of Havoc from Lucha Underground. I've seen him live a few times. Tremendous. I met him too. He's a great guy.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you where this show lost me, dude. The Christopher Daniels deal with Amel was good. You could tell Amel was clearly blown up 5 minutes in, and Daniels had to carry him.
Daniels carried him.
And
he
let
did.
me say this.
But give Amel credit, dude. Amel did a good job, though.
I'll get and I'll tell you who else I like here. Scorpio Sky. I remember Scorpio Sky when he was wearing.
He's getting very good. Dude, he is getting very good. Actually, he's getting over too.
I remember back in 2004, 2005 when he was wrestling on the SoCal indie scene, wearing a fucking scorpion from Mortal Kombat looking costume, wearing a yellow and black mask. Okay, look it up. He did. He had some kick-ass matches with Human Tornado back in the day down in SoCal. He's a phenomenal talent.
Him and Flip had a little run in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad to see him getting a break now. I like the women's match with Blanchard, Green, and Britt Baker, and DMD and Rain. I like that.
How'd you feel about Brooke coming out to Adam Cole's music? I thought it was a nice little tribute.
Who, Britt Baker?
Yep.
Yeah, because aren't they together?
Yeah. And then you got her, and then you got, what's his name's girl was in the match, too.
Ricochet.
Well, they're not together anymore.
Ricochet and Tessa aren't together anymore?
No, they haven't been for a while.
Oh, okay.
She's dating some Mexican wrestler, I believe.
Tully must feel real great.
No, I'm talking about what's-her-face. The Two-Face chick. Isn't she dating, God damn it. See what happens when I watch WWE forever? I can't think of his name. Zack Ryder.
I don't know. Who the fuck cares about Zack Ryder?
No, I think she's dating Zack Ryder. And then you had Madison Rayne in there, too. Did you see Cody and Nick Aldis?
I did. And I don't like the dog and I don't know.
Who cares about the dog? I'm talking about the match.
The match itself was good. I didn't agree with all the entourages and everybody else coming down. And to me, the build for it was good. Now, granted, half the build for this match was on fucking Busted Open on the Sirius XM shit because they would have those two on constantly.
Well, and Ring of Honor too.
And Ring of Honor and the damn
and
10 pounds of
NWA.
gold.
Yeah.
The build for it.
Well, will you be interested in watching the rematch?
No, because Cody has to win it. Because if Cody's title reign with that NWA World title is going to mean anything, and if he's trying to live up to his father's legacy with it, he's got to carry that thing for at least 2 years.
I think it's a long time to ask in this day and age of wrestling.
No, not for him, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to be that traveling champion. He wants to have... Cody, much like Nick Aldis, wants to bring prestige back to that belt. And whether it be like...
I hope you're correct, because I'm not going to like it if he loses.
Honest, I want to see him defend it on Ring of Honor TV. I want to see him go to New Japan.
I want to see him defend it at Wrestle Kingdom.
I want to see him defend it at Wrestle Kingdom. I want to see him defend it at WrestleCon on WrestleMania weekend. Hell, I would not be surprised.
Well, no, because they have the Super Show. He could defend that on the Super Show.
I would not mind in the slightest, okay? And I could totally see this shit happening because Triple H runs the show. Put him on NXT.
I'm not a fan of that.
And then the only reason why
I think him doing that would go against everything he's doing right now.
And he would have to defeat whoever he faced, which devalues them in NXT. And yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, you can't go there and win. I mean, it could be Kota Ibushi and be light years better than anybody else in the tournament. Save, maybe you could make a case for. God damn it! Why is my mind so terrible tonight? The black guy he wrestled, the kid from North Carolina, the ROH kid. He's in 205 Live now. Fucking, you know him.
Oh God. Oh.
Cedric Alexander.
Okay.
Other than Cedric Alexander, Kota Ibushi was light years better than anybody in that tournament, and they weren't even in the same league. That's why I can't take those things serious. And I understand he's not signing with WWE, so he can't win. Well, then don't have them in the tournament.
Hangman Page defeating Joey Janela is a good thing. I'm a huge Hangman Page fan.
That dick thing had to drive you crazy.
Yeah, and that's where this show just went for me.
I thought it was a little much.
That happened. The second that
he
happened,
did get a big pop, but I thought it was a little much.
It got a big pop because it's a goddamn circle jerk, dude.
I don't think they needed it. I agree with you. I don't like Joey Janela.
The bottom line
so I didn't. See, to me, I think Hangman was better than all that.
Here's the thing about this show. It's the if you build it, the sheep will. If you build the pen, the sheep will come. Okay. Every fan,
the only thing about that is, according to you and Meltzer, they would not come. And you guys were wrong.
Every fan that came to that
remember that show we did, and you were like, we had the argument, and you're like, they have to get 10,000 or it's a failure. And I'm like, well, what if they get like, 8,900? I think that's pretty good. You're like, no, it's not 10,000. It's a failure. It's got 11,000.
And this show was not a failure because, again, it's the fucking sheep who watch that Being the Elite bullshit, who treat it like it's a fucking joke. They treat the business like it's a fucking joke.
Yeah, but you're overstating it by saying they're treating it like it's a joke. It's a different aspect to the business, though.
Giant sitcom.
Wait, but if you don't like what the WWE is doing right now, right?
What kills me, dude. If WWE was to try anything like this, anything like
it wouldn't work there. I agree with you. It wouldn't work there. I agree.
About it. So what's the difference in them doing it on WWE? Them doing toilet humor jokes and pee-pee jokes, and Cena doing pee-pee jokes, and this. There is no difference to me. It's a dick
but you take that one match and you're using that to define the whole show.
It's not only that, dude. The Young Bucks do that shit all the time. It's their style of dude. You know me and the Young Bucks.
Do what? You're not fair with the Young Bucks though. Dude, that as much as that show was, as much as that All In was about Cody, it doesn't happen without them either.
I was so happy when I learned that fucking Marty Scurll and fucking Okada went over.
Oh,
I was so happy. I was like, good God
it went way over, too.
Oh, man, it went 20 minutes over, and them sons of bitches are sitting there.
I don't know if it was 20, but they went way over.
It was 12 minutes over, and the fucking Young Bucks got reduced to an 11-minute match, so they had to go in there.
I'll tell you, my three biggest complaints about the show, were, I thought Cody and Aldis should have went last, personally. And I thought Omega and Pentagon should have been the co-main.
I didn't like that match on
right before that. I love the match. They put the match where they did because of Jericho's run-in. And to me, I didn't need the Jericho run-in because the Jericho run-in was to sell the cruise. And I don't give a fuck about the Jericho cruise. So I didn't need that. And then the third thing is I don't need, blow up dicks. I just don't.
I don't like, me and the dick guy. I don't like I don't even know his fucking name right offhand. I don't like
Joey Ryan.
I don't like him.
You know when I like Joey Ryan? I'll be honest with you. I liked Joey Ryan way back in, it was either season 1 or 2, maybe middle of season 1 or middle of season 2 of Lucha Underground. He came into Lucha Underground as kind of like an undercover cop. And the angle had nothing to do with that dick shit. The angle was cool, and he sold it well, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And I liked him then. To me, the dick thing, it's too much, bro. Like we talked about it before. It's just too much. It's all the time, bro.
He's a good worker. But if I was to ever book him on a show, I would tell him no dick spot. And if you do that dick spot out there, never expect to work for me again.
I'll tell you, this is the honest to God's truth. A local promoter asked me my opinion on bringing Joey Ryan in. And the majority of our conversation about that was, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't love it, but I'm fine. But you have a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, I know you'd have to tone it back, but I don't know that it's going to happen. And I'm not going to say who the promoter is. People that know me could probably figure it out. But the bottom line is we had a 20-minute conversation about it, and I was like, I don't know if it's the greatest idea. It's nothing against him, but dude, when there's all right, Jazz is now, she's fucking 17. She's, I don't necessarily need her to see that shit anyway, but she knows how to handle it. 10 years ago, if she was 10 years old, I'd be pissed, bro. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? It's supposed to be family entertainment. You know, on All In, that's one thing. On an ROH show, that's one thing. Because I know this is an adult show, and I made the decision to let her watch it. But in certain scenarios, that just doesn't work.
Here's why I couldn't really get behind the show 100%. It's because I know that I'm not this show's target audience. The target audience of these shows are fucking millennials who this is Beavis and Butthead shit. They might as well be, you know, Nick and Matt Jackson might as well be Beavis and Butthead, and fucking Kenny Omega might as well be the
I think you're too hard on them though. That's all I'm saying.
Beavis and Butthead.
I'm not saying I disagree with your premise. I think you're too hard on them though. I think you're overstating what they actually do.
But that match is where it went off the rails. The Jay Lethal with Lanny Poffo giving him the blessing to do the Macho Man thing was good. Flip Gordon's whole deal with Brandy Rhodes and him winning that battle royal, I'm like, dude, it's pointless. Why? Just put him on the fucking show.
But you didn't follow all the background to that.
I know that. He's trying to get on the All In, and he's flirting with Brandy, and all this. They won't let him on the show.
But they also, I mean, he had 3 or 4 matches to get on, and he didn't.
Did you ever watch WWE's?
I thought that, to be honest with you, I actually think that helped Flip a lot with just exposure.
Okay. Did you ever watch the Southpaw Regional Wrestling deal that WWE did for YouTube?
A few seconds. I didn't really get into it.
That's what being the Elite is. It's fucking 4 to 10 weeks or years of this build-up where there's no big thing going on in the ring. It's all behind-the-scenes shit of, oh, my God, Kenny Omega's showing back up at the Young Bucks hotel room, but he's got Kota Ibushi in tow. And there's no real wrestling involved to advance really the storylines. So they fucking goddamn threw an event together to cap off the TV show. That's what it is.
I think think.
Okay, remember
see,
the TV,
I think you're understating what they actually pulled off.
Remember the TV show Coach? Good show. Craig.
But the problem is you're saying that they did this because of the show.
Yeah.
No, they utilized the show to promote it. Yes, they did this because it was said that it could not be done, and they said yes, we'll do it.
Remember,
and they didn't just use the show. They had help from Ring of Honor. They got those bigger names on there. They got guys from Impact that aren't necessarily. Now they're going to do some shit with ROH, but at the time they weren't. There was some stuff like advancing ROH storylines on All In. I didn't really love that.
The Jericho thing? Well, dude, this was basically, okay, you know what this reminded me of, and I said it on Twitter? Remember in WCW when they did the NWO sold out pay-per-view in 97? Or, in February of 97?
Yeah.
This was Ring of Honor's version of Sold Out, or Ring of Honor's version of One Night Stand. Let's let the
it's hard to say but you had the difference was that was all their own talent. There's a lot of people that were on this show that aren't on Ring of Honor shows.
Ring of Honor
Kenny. Yeah, but dude, Kenny Omega almost never does a Ring of Honor show. Pentagon's not on Ring of Honor show. Ray Phoenix is not on Ring of Honor shows. Nick Aldis came on to promote it. You don't see Brian Cage on there. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of there was Ring of Honor influence, of course, but it wasn't just Ring of Honor though. I think that's where you're selling it short a little bit.
And I think that the Conrad Thompson.
I think you're agree. Listen, I agree. There's a lot of shit they did on that show where had that been on a WWE show, we all would have went crazy. I agree with that. I'm not even denying that. I'm just saying it's a different venue. It's a different. It's like you said. It's a different target audience. I don't totally agree with that target audience either. What I'll say is overall, I enjoyed the show. I had nitpicking things too, but part of it was I saw people that I've seen on indies and guys I know, have a platform that maybe they haven't had in the past. Flip Gordon being one of them, and I thought that was cool. I liked the Cody Aldis stuff. I really did. I liked Omega and Pentagon. Listen, if I watched it back 10 times, could I find more shit I didn't like? Probably.
They one thing that killed me too is that I was not a fan of the Pentagon. I'm not a fan of Pentagon Jr., okay? I don't get the big appeal of him.
You're in the minority with that one.
He's not a main event guy, in my opinion.
Well, he's supposedly headed to the Big Show.
Yeah, but they're never going to treat him as anything more than Rey Mysterio Jr. They're never going to give him a world title up there. And I'm fine with that because I don't see him as a main event guy. I don't get the appeal of him. When I saw him versus Kenny Omega, I'm like, here's the show that this being the Elite and Kenny Omega and everybody's been building up to, and you stick him with Pentagon? To me, he
stick him with Pentagon is weird. See, you crap on guys you don't like, though. That's the thing, Joe. You if you don't like them, they don't matter. That's not true with Pentagon, bro.
Why was he not?
Dude, he's like one of the hot. If you go on the indie scene right now, people want to, especially now because everybody thinks he's going to WWE. So everybody wants to see Pentagon.
I just never got the appeal of him. I never did. Never have.
Even in Lucha Underground?
Never. I didn't like him in Lucha. I never got the appeal of him.
That storyline with what's his face, Vampiro was pretty good, man.
Good, but to me, Vampiro came out of it as the bigger draw.
I don't know.
And Kenny Omega.
I don't know. I'll tell you this.
I look at this going.
Hold on a second. Coming out of, answer me this question. Coming out of Lucha Underground, as their Lucha Underground character, has there been a bigger star?
John Morrison.
He was a star before that. You can't. I'm not going to give you him. And he has a different name everywhere he wrestles. And honestly, I will tell you right now, Cage? I think Pentagon's a bigger draw than John Morrison is right now.
Brian Cage, maybe.
Cage is the net. He would be the 1A, I would say right now. Yeah. Cage and Pentagon. Those are the two guys.
But
I can't give you Ricochet because there's no reference in anything he does to Prince Puma. No. And I would say probably half the people in Full Sail doesn't even know who the fuck Prince Puma is.
I'm willing to bet against that because I watched him at a PWX show right after Lucha Underground season 1 wrapped up. He fought Moose on that show, and people, Moose's theme song is like Moose. People were chanting Moose, and then they were like Puma, Moose, Puma.
I don't think right now he identifies with Puma at all.
No. Probably not.
That's my point. Cage would be the other guy, but I think I don't even know if I'll tell you this right now. I guarantee you, if you ask indie promoters, they're going to tell you Pentagon is a bigger draw than Brian Cage right now.
I look at the Kenny Omega Pentagon match and I'm sitting there going, okay, we got the world title, Ring of Honor world title defended. We got the NWA world title defended. Where's the New Japan title?
Well, they're not going to defend that title on that show.
Why?
All right, first of all, if you make it for that title, it's guaranteed.
Half of the being of the elite, half the being of the elite bullshit was shit that was going on in New Japan.
But Joe, you make it too much about being the elite.
That's what this show was built around. Was being.
Well, it wasn't. There was 90 fucking episodes before All In was announced. It's you're making this about stuff it wasn't about. Did they try to promote it and advance storylines on there? Yes, I agree they did. They tried to do it at indie shows. They tried to do it at Ring of Honor shows. Being the elite is not about All In. Being the elite was around way before All In was even a concept. Flip Gordon was on Being the Elite before All In was a thought.
But the last year of Being the Elite has been building towards this ever since this show was announced. Being the Elite. Ever since this show was announced, Being the Elite has been, all right, let's use Being the Elite to promote All In. That's
they partially used it, yes. But listen, New Japan is not going to let Kenny Omega defend the IWGP Championship on a fucking pay-per-view that they're not even promoting. Let me ask you, did anyone even carry a New Japan title at that show?
No.
Nobody did.
I think it would have gotten them more exposure. But then again, the audience watching this...
Yeah, but I don't think New Japan wanted to be a major part of that show. No. That stuff had nothing to do with that.
Why do you think they didn't?
I don't think they did because they have their own business here now.
Yeah. So does Ring of Honor, though. And Ring of Honor chipped in heavily.
But you know what? Ring of Honor benefited from that because Ring of Honor when they ran Vegas, ran like in a 1,000-seat arena, and then last night ran an arena that holds 10,000 people.
I think New Japan could have benefited from this as well. Hey, New Japan just fucking helped run Chicago.
Maybe New Japan could have, but I'll tell you this. I think a lot of what they've done in the U.S. has been lackluster.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be honest.
That last show they did, the Cow Palace, fucking sucked.
The only cool part was the turn. Yeah. The Gorillas turn. Other than that, the show was not that good. Which
has gone nowhere.
Right. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I just think New Japan, they, you know what? These guys can work the show. Yeah. But you got to remember, the only guys on the show that are really New Japan guys were Omega and Okada.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say the Young Bucks, but you're going to be like, no, they're signed to Ring of Honor. So, I mean, you know, that's been your excuse.
Yeah, but the Young Bucks are Ring of Honor guys.
They are Ring of Honor guys, but to me, I don't care where they're dotted, their name, whose dotted line their name is on.
Same with
to
Cody,
me, they're more New
same
Japan.
with Hangman, same with Marty Scurll.
Yeah, to me, all those guys.
The majority of that portion of the Bullet Club, not Kenny Omega, are all New Japan guys.
They had an opportunity.
Which guys?
And this is where I say New Japan on New Japan side of things have squandered this shit because they turned, you know, they got that killer squad. I think it is.
How is New Japan gonna come into North America without Omega, Bucks, Cody? You know, listen. I love Tama Tonga. I love the Guerrillas of Destiny. I love the Firing Squad angle. I love all that. That's great. I like LIJ. Cool. I like Okada. Great. I like Tanahashi. Perfect. Guess what? If you take the ROH portion of the roster out of that equation, nobody's gonna go. Nobody's gonna watch. Nobody's gonna care.
The thing that pissed me off about
the thing is, ROH needs their financial backing to book Madison Square Garden because they can't do it by themselves.
New Japan.
It's kind of a weird. This is why when people say that they're all going to band together and become like, you know, a competition for the WWE, I don't think they will because I've always said this. When you get into that, there's way too many egos involved. And if New Japan's bankrolling it, it's always going to be about them. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that Impact and Ring of Honor are starting to do shit again.
There's a reason why they're calling that Madison Square Garden show a G1 special. You know?
Yeah, because listen, this is the truth of the matter. Ring of Honor could not book that arena on their own.
No.
Because they tried and Vince blocked it. And then next thing you know, New Japan got involved because they have that new COO who's from New York City and they probably fucking bankrolled the thing.
Mm-hmm. But I think
Joe Koff is not Joe Koff is not challenging Vince McMahon anytime in any way, shape, or form ever. Is he going to challenge Vince McMahon?
Here's where I think New Japan really screwed the pooch here. Okay, they had the deal where they took the Tongans and they turned them, and I really thought they were going to do the whole NWO versus NWO thing where they were going to have Bullet Club Japan versus the Ring of Honor Bullet Club. Okay.
Which I thought they should have done too.
They had the perfect opportunity to do that by having the Guerrillas come in here and just run ruckshot over one of these damn matches. Okay? Maybe the damn Kenny Omega match. All right?
Oh, you mean on All In?
Yeah.
And they were there too, which I agree with you. I think they should have fucking capitalized on that.
And then you had, Okada.
You know what? Here you're back to this kind of weird booking scenario where you have an ROH pay-per-view last night. You have New Japan talent on the show. You have ROH TV tapings tonight. And then you have a fucking New Japan show tomorrow.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I don't know that all the ducks are in a row. You know what I'm saying?
So then you had Okada versus Scroll, which was fucking amazing. I love that match. So happy.
I thought the match was tremendous. I really did. Even though it was long, I thought it was tremendous.
Golden Elite and Sorry, can't get behind it.
Marty Scurll's talented. You got to give him credit.
Oh, yeah. I love Marty Scurll. But then you had the last match with Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio and Bandito.
That wasn't a main event. It was a spot fest.
As all most of the Young Bucks matches are, because
it's not just the Young Bucks though. Come on, I mean,
dude,
you got fucking Bandito, Rey Fenix, Mysterio.
This match should have went on first. It's the same reason why the Young Bucks almost, as y'all shoved down my throat, the Young Bucks. I
actually thought if Ibushi was going to be on the show, he should have got something better too.
I mean, it's the reason why y'all tell me all the time.
I didn't think of him. He was the other New Japan guy that was on there.
Now I'm starting to see why the Young Bucks really do not main event New Japan shows ever. Because when they do main event, it's fucking spot monkey shit. I don't want to see that in my main event. I want to see a story.
Well, that's not true because they have main evented New Japan in the United States.
They do, it's in the United States.
They're not. Listen, they're not gonna take New Japan. If you watch enough of it, they're never gonna main event a New Japan show unless it's the fucking World Tag League final, and the tag team match is never gonna be the main event ever in New Japan.
Then you had all these people on there going, "They didn't announce an All In 2." You're lucky you got the fucking first one, folks. Okay?
Well, they're going to get another one, though.
Well, they'll get another one. They'll probably run fucking Florida or New York or fucking L.A. They're not going to run Chicago again.
No, you got to do it somewhere else.
And if they do run New York, it ain't going to be MSG. It ain't going to be the Barclays.
They won't have the money. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't. First of all, you can't get the Barclays because WWE has the Barclays on lock. Second of all, you have to remember is those buildings cost a lot of money.
They'll run the Hammerstein
to secure. It's not big enough for All In.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
They don't need to draw 10,000 people again. They've proven they can do that. Give us some fucking quality storylines now.
They're not going to get 10,000 in Hammerstein. It's not big enough.
I don't want them to get 10,000 in the Hammerstein. It's not about drawing 10,000 people anymore. They've proven they can do it. What are they going to do next?
I think part of having a big crowd and making it. Yeah, but Joe, the other thing you're not considering is that was like a fucking wrestling Comic-Con.
That's another problem I have is the whole StarCast thing.
Yeah, but they want to do that again though. That's the thing.
They sat there and I could see blocking Vince Russo, okay? Why do you think PW Insider was not represented at that fucking Comic-Con, at that StarCast? Because they weren't going to sit there and jerk Conrad Thompson and the Young Bucks' dick. They do everything. Mike Johnson and everybody like that do all their shit fair and impartial, and they don't they're unlike Meltzer and Wade Keller and all them, they don't fucking they're not sympathy. They're not sympathists. I had a big problem with PW Insider not being there. I think they should have. To me, PW Insider is bigger than the Torch. So
I don't really care. I mean, to me, I look at it this way. Wrestling media is not really media. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not media. How can you call in the Talking Sheet podcast did an excellent job with this. How can you call yourself fair and impartial wrestling media when you're constantly kissing the Young Bucks' ass? They named
but see that I just think it's fucking wrestling though, dude. It's not fucking. You know what I mean? You guys want guys to go on the air and like give inside information and break things down. It's predetermined shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's not like these guys are covering the NFL. It's just a different dynamic.
You can't sit there and report 1 minute and sit there and go, yeah, such and such is a big drug problem, such as this, and then the next minute go, yeah, the Young Bucks, me and them went out partying last night. It makes you come off like you're not.
When did the Young Bucks ever go out partying?
Dude, they hang out with Meltzer and shit like that. Come on, don't.
Right, but they're not party. Yeah, but the thing is, they're not party guys though.
Well, you know what I mean.
But my point being is when you say they're party guys, you're saying that you're implying something.
You would never
the idea behind all those guys is that's not what they do.
Now you're reaching.
How am I reaching?
It was a figure of speech, okay?
Right, but my point saying is
you would never see like fucking Dan Rather back when he was a
But
fucking.
Meltzer never got comped by WWE.
No, well, I'm not, dude. That's not the point.
Come on,
that's not the
come
point.
on, bro. Listen. If you know you can manipulate someone who has a voice to say positive things about you, they're gonna present you in a good light so you can make more money. Of course, you're gonna do it. You brought it up before. And
I have a big problem with someone's journalistic integrity that does that shit.
Yeah, but in wrestling there is no journalistic integrity.
But
there is none.
He claims
There's none.
to have it. He claims to have it. He claims to be the end all be all.
That's fine. They could claim they all claim to have it, but none of them have it because there's nothing to have integrity about. It's a fucking performance. You want to have journalistic integrity when Jack Swagger gets arrested and you want to report that he had weed in his car and shit? All right, cool. But guess what? There's a whole slew of fucking real reporters who are going to take that story and get all the inside info before you do. If it's something that mainstream media is going to pick up, none of those guys are going to get that information before they.
I'll go your route and saying, it's predetermined or whatever. Okay. Let's say I'm gonna write up on a Broadway show. Okay. I'm going to go write a review of Hamilton. I would never sit there and go out and have drinks with the cast and then give the damn show a good review because it looks like I'm biased.
Okay, then you are an exception to the rule, my friend. In anything. If you don't think that goes on with TV and restaurants, listen, all these bullshit. I'm in the restaurant industry. I know how this shit works. I'll tell you this right now. I could poll, if I got a real poll of the people in town I live in about who has the best burger in town, they're going to say it's the place I work at. And I'll tell you right now, there's another place in town that's got like 5 plaques sitting on the wall that says they have the best burger in town. But anytime I hear anybody talk about it, they're like, it's not as good, it's dry, it's this, it's that, it's blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because they brought in some food critic from some publication and licked their balls to the point that they said, best burger in Waterbury area in New Haven County. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit goes on all the time. It's not just wrestling.
Then ethically, that food critic cannot call himself impartial.
They all do it though. Here's my point. They all do it. They all do it everywhere.
It doesn't make it right though.
It doesn't make it right. I agree. It doesn't make it right. But I'm just saying is you're asking men who report on stories to have integrity. Like, let's face it, half of their journalism, quote unquote, is WWE planning for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just, when you're reporting on wrestling, you could write that yourself tomorrow. You don't need a source. You don't need anybody saying have some inside information. That's what's happening. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the 3rd time at WrestleMania this year. And everybody could go crazy about it and they could think you're right. Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that again. You never have to have a source. You never have to back up anything you say. Because it's a story, it's fantasy. If you go out and say Ben Roethlisberger raped a woman in a bar, you need to back that up somehow or he's going to sue you. You're talking real life and fantasy. But it's different.
The problem I have though is Meltzer sees himself as on par with a fucking major journalist.
And listen, me and Edwards have been screaming about that for how many years now?
Yeah, and y'all screamed about it to me about it, and I'm sitting there going, okay.
Meltzer, but listen, dude.
But dude, here's the
thing.
Listen,
Meltzer is a personality. Let's be honest, that's what he is.
When he
thinks he's a fucking MMA journalist too, and I can tell you right now, and I'll tell you this right now, I could ask any fighter I know if any fighter I know, and I know more fighters than I know wrestlers. If they have no connection at all to pro wrestling, and I ask them who Dave Meltzer is, they don't have a fucking clue.
Ariel Helwani only has him on his show when Brock Lesnar's involved.
Right. He probably has a bigger connection to Brock than Ariel, but here's the thing. Ariel's a fucking, Ariel's a journalist. Ariel's a guy who worked for Fox Sports. He got let go because of the bullshit with Dana. Started up with an upstart MMA fucking website, made it a huge deal, and then got himself a huge deal from ESPN when they got the UFC rights. Dude, it's a different scenario. That's not what Meltzer is. I'll tell you this. You want to add credibility to Meltzer? When WWE ends up on Fox, if they do a fucking pre and post show and Meltzer's on it, he's gonna get credibility. That's the way they're gonna do it. That's the only way it's gonna work.
Dude, they'll never do that.
Right? Because why won't they do a pre and post show? Because it's a fucking fantasy.
You think they have the? Remember when TNA used to be on Fox Sports, back when Fox Sports was a paid channel?
Yeah.
And they used to have the Fox box with the time and everything. Do you think they do something like that on Raw with fucking? I'm curious to see how the presentation.
Don't they do like Raw pre and SmackDown pre and post shows on the network?
No, they stopped doing that like a year ago.
Yeah, why? Because nobody watches them.
Nobody watched it.
I never watched it in my life. Nobody watched it.
My thing is, now that they're on a major network, who is the leader in sports? I'm sorry.
Here's what they're asking you to do when they do something like that. They're asking you to watch 5 hours of fantasy in one night and then watch 4 hours of fantasy. They're asking you to watch 9 hours of fantasy in 2 nights. But, like, let's be honest. If you do an hour pre-show, 3 hours of Raw, 1 hour post-show, hour pre-show, 2 hours of SmackDown, 1 hour post-show, that's 9 hours in 2 nights of fantasy they're asking you to watch. Who the fuck is ever going to do that? I'll tell you this. When we do the podcast before WrestleMania and the fucking pre-show is on, I thank my heavens that we're doing a podcast, because those pre-shows are bore me to tears. Because all it is
video packages that you're going to
air packages they've been showing on Raw for a month.
And they're going to air them again on the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Before the match starts, we got to air them again. Yeah. Exactly.
And we get to see Renee Young wearing a damn leather fucking outfit for the final.
And then you got match predictions from fucking Booker T and Corey Graves and wherever else they put on there. Yeah. It's like, really? And you know what? Sometimes, like, I get they try to go for realism, but sometimes I almost want to be like, dude, you guys broke kayfabe a long time ago.
I'll be honest with you, man.
Get the fuck out of here with the match predictions.
I haven't watched fucking wrestling since May. I have had the opportunity, like when I was in that hotel. And tomorrow night I'm going to be here at home. I won't watch. When I was in that hotel 3 weeks ago, I tried to watch it, and it was the same shit with Roman Reigns, and I turned it off in 5 minutes.
Like I said, I haven't watched WWE since Extreme Rules. I watched a few episodes of Impact leading up to Slammiversary. I'll probably do the same for Bound to Glory. Watch.
I mean, if you want to watch
a little bit of New Japan, a little bit of ROH, and All In. And other than that, I've gone to the live NEW shows, and that's it. It's my wrestling viewing sporadic at best right now.
Right now, I
haven't been watching WWE at all.
Mine's non-existent. You know how I keep up with WWE? I either read about it on the internet or I watch the fucking YouTube clips.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I see like the Bella shit,
now, I will say that AJ Styles Samoa Joe shit has been awesome.
I don't even go looking for it. I will say the AJ Styles Samoa Joe shit
has been pretty damn good. That's the best thing on TV right now on their TV.
Sense. I guess.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. It's too.
He must. What's his name? Must be on a pretty historic title run then.
AJ, he is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're gonna get out of here, man. I got family.
Yes, sir.
We got family barking at me and everything like that. So.
Well, you're home like 2 days out of the year, so you might as well go spend time with them.
I've been home since day before yesterday, but I got in at like 3:00 in the morning. So I'm gonna go spend some time with my family here. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. Not a big live turnout, but if you decide to watch the archive, thank you. And I'll have another update for you here in about probably another week or two as soon as I can. I'm going to take the headset out on the road with me and see what happens. It's not going to be the best audio quality in the world, but it's something.
Well, maybe we could get Edwards to produce.
Maybe. Well, dude, I had asked him. I've been asking him on the road. I was like, dude, I can download Skype or call into your fucking Skype or whatever. And he just hasn't wanted to do it. Edwards is in his own little world writing his book, so maybe once the book is finished,
the Chronicles of Melvin Dassey.
It's the Making a Dassey Part 2.
This is what I want. All I want is this: all three of us to watch Making a fucking Murderer and do a fucking podcast about it.
It may happen.
It'll be so. Christmas. First of all, I think we could add. We will all add a little something different to breaking it down. But second of all, I think there'd be a lot of comedy involved as well.
When I come back in for New Year's, we'll do it. We got to do it.
Yeah, perfect.
Even if it's just me and you, we got to do it.
Yeah, no question.
All right, folks.
All right, brother. Take care. I'll hang in there with everything.
Dude, I'm gonna try. Stay on here with me, real quick, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
All right, folks. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we will see you down the road.